Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Jazakumullah khairan for the attendance. Alhamdulillah, there's lots of people out there who want to be able to understand the Quran. So it's heartwarming to see so many people registering for the course, Alhamdulillah. So we're going to begin our journey, inshallah, of trying to be able to understand the Quran. We're actually going to learn the Arabic language, the structure of Arabic language, in order for us to be able to start understanding the Quran without a translation, inshallah. Before I start, I want to recite a few verses from the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. So that was 3 verses from Surah Yusuf, the starting of Surah Yusuf. It starts off with Alif Lam Ra, and these 3 letters only Allah knows the meaning. Continues, these are the verses of the book that makes things manifest. Surely we have revealed it an Arabic Quran that you may understand. We narrate to you the best of narratives by our revealing to you this Quran, though before this you were certainly one of those who did not know. So, and then the beautiful story of the Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam starts. But the reason why I chose these verses is because it contains this verse. Surely we have revealed it an Arabic Quran that you may understand. And the whole point of the Quran coming is so that we can understand it. And what better way of understanding the Quran, what better way is there than actually learning the Arabic itself? Because inshallah you will see through this course that the English translation doesn't do justice to the Arabic. A lot is lost in the English translation. So we will inshallah commence. Just before I commence, I just want to mention 2 things. This and this. So this is something that my mum likes me to wear. And this here, you see this sort of garb thing, right? This covering, that's normally worn by scholars, people who have studied abroad and been to Islamic universities and have attained degrees, etc. Sometimes you even get the World Cup winner, the winner of the World Cup wearing it as well, right? So my story for this is I haven't been to another country to study Islam. Any studying of Islam that I have done has been in this country, in the UK, right? So I'm only wearing this again because my mum bought it for me and she wanted me to wear it, that's all, right? But one thing I do want you to take home from that is you don't need to go to another country to start learning Islam or to start understanding the Quran. You can do it from where you are now. Yes, it's good if you can go and study, dedicate some years of your life, but you can do a lot here. And that's what we are going to attempt to do, inshallah. So before I start the class, the course, I want to just talk a bit about do an introduction to just generally, right? And there's a hadith narrated by Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu, right? That Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said the best of you is the one who learns the Quran and teaches it. So the best of you is the one who learns the Quran and teaches it. So we hope to be from those people who are going to be learning the Quran, and then we hope to be from those who teach the Quran. So we can be from the best of the people. So it's like just we can form our intentions. You know, if we haven't really intended or we haven't really thought about what we can intend, well, here's the opportunity now to let's start intending, right? I want to be from the best of the people. We want to do it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, not for any monetary gain, not for any respect, not for anything else except to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be able to understand the book that He has revealed to us, etc. Just, can you all still hear me? Yeah, just want to just make sure everything is still connected. Okay, good. Right, look at this verse. This is the verse I just recited of the Quran. Verily, we have sent it down as an Arabic Quran in order that you may understand. So this is the whole point of the Quran, that we understand. Many people have made it just a ritual where we just pick up the Quran in Ramadan, we read the Quran, and of course there is immense reward in doing that. But we stop there. We shouldn't stop there. We should try to look to see what the Quran, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. Now look at this verse here. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. And we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there anyone who will remember? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the Quran is easy to understand. And when I started learning Arabic, when I learned some of the structure of Arabic, I had a feeling that I want to tell my friends that that's all you need. You only need to learn some basics to get going. You don't have to spend years studying before you can start understanding the Quran. You just need to learn some rules, some templates, and then you can start. Obviously, you need to learn some vocabulary, and then you can start understanding words that you've never seen before because you understand the templates. And when I did that, I had this feeling that I've got friends in the masjid that I wanted to teach them and show them this is all you need to do to get going. And that's what I hope to show you in this course, inshallah. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying is the Quran is easy. The Quran is much easier than an Arabic article, an Arabic news article, an Arabic magazine. You read that Arabic and it's difficult for me, right? But the Quran, it is easy. It is really easy, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in the Quran, not once. Here's another verse here. Look at the reference of this. Another one here. 4 times in the Quran this verse comes. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to put this verse in the Quran once, it was enough. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put it in the Quran in this one surah 4 times. This verse appears 4 times in the surah. So it's like, what's the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put it 4 times? Right? We're being told again and again and again and again that the Quran is easy to understand. Somebody's asking, will yes, this lecture is recorded. It will be on YouTube, inshallah. So yes, if you have questions during it, if I feel it's appropriate, I'll answer it. If not, maybe we can answer it in the Telegram group or later on. This is a quote from Ibn al-Qayyim, scholar from the past. If you want to benefit from the Quran, gather your heart when it is recited. I try to understand it. Focus your hearing and act like you are being directly addressed by Allah. So this is things to keep in mind while reading the Quran, while doing this course. Before we start, so you might have a few questions like, why not learn conversational Arabic? So number one, I'm not the best person to teach conversational Arabic. But the other thing is this. In order to be able to construct sentences in Arabic, you need to know quite a bit. You need to know what to start off a sentence with, how to say it, how not to say it, which way does it make sense. That's another science that we don't have time for in 11 weeks. And we don't need to be able to construct sentences to be able to understand the Quran, because the Quran is already written down. We just need to know how to understand what is written, and that's much easier than being able to construct sentences yourself. Okay, so we're not learning conversational Arabic. With conversational Arabic, you would also need to be able to practice it. So you need to be living in, in a country, or be around people who can speak it. And whoever wants to, further their studies and learn conversational Arabic, then all well and good, because it's only going to make you more fluent in the Quran. Right, why this book? So I will, in a few slides, I will show you which book I've based this course on, and I'll explain that there, inshallah. So what will be taught in this course? So Arabic sort of comes in, like, there's three main aspects of Arabic. One is sarf, and then you have nahu and balagha. So sarf is something that we're going to learn a lot. Nahu a bit, balagha none. What is sarf? So sarf is basically the structure of the Arabic language. It's morphology. How do you change a word to make it mean something else? How do I say my book, his book, your book, their book, his house, their house, our house, he walked, he walks, walking, these different ways of changing the word, right? He heard, I heard, you heard, we heard. This is sarf. And this is the crux, the most important part of learning Arabic. If you don't know sarf, you can't do anything in Arabic. So sarf, morphology, this is what we're going to concentrate on, and it's the most important block to start with. Then the next, I'd say the next important one is nahu. Nahu is grammar. How does the word end? Kafirun, kafirin, kitabun, kitaban, kitabin, and other things going on, right? It's to do with how the word ends. It does affect the meaning, and etc., etc. We will do a bit of that, inshallah. And then balagha. Balagha is eloquence. Why is it written like this in the Quran? Why is this word here? Why is this word not here? Normally this word would be here, but why is it here? Why did Allah put this word here? That's balagha, and that's another level, and we're not going to talk about that, inshallah. Right? Root letters, somebody's asking about root letters. No, this is not root letters. We will go through the root letters, inshallah, later on in the course. So what will I achieve from this course? What will I achieve from this course? Inshallah, right? Write it down if you want. Record this. If you do everything I tell you to do, if you learn everything I tell you to learn, you will be able to understand parts of the Quran without a translation, simple verses of the Quran, and even sometimes full verses. Imam will be reciting the Quran and you'll know what's going on, and that one instance of you being able to understand that little verse he read, or that half of that long verse he read, you'll bring, you'll maybe have tears in your eyes. That has the day come that I could actually understand a bit of what the Imam was saying, right? You will have that. I've had students, people come to me and tell me I can, do this. I have had no ability before, right? So you will be able to do it, but I must say, you're going to have to put your head down. Give this 11 weeks your heart. Give it your heart. Give it your time, your energy. Make it that your family, tell you, if your family is with you now, then make it a sort of routine that you ask each other during the week, hey, what's the answer to this? Test each other and make that environment of Quran in your houses. Okay, so inshallah, you will be able to. If you sort of get homework and you don't do it, then you're not going to know anything. Okay, so it's like proportional. The understanding you get at the end is like proportional to the amount of effort you put in. So you need to put some good, strong effort in. If you have any questions, then please just, anytime. It won't be disturbing me, inshallah. Any questions you have, put them in there. If I think it's a good question that people will benefit from, then I'll answer it. If I think it's like a really advanced question, right, even if I know the answer, I may just leave that out and maybe answer it in a Telegram group or something, or, try to contact the person who asked the question and do it that way. So don't feel shy to ask any questions, even during the class. And everybody is on mute, so you can't speak. You can't unmute yourself either, because there's that many people that if everybody was allowed to mute, we'd have chaos, right? And the last one is, oh yes, the ZZP words can be used. So somebody who hasn't done this course before, what are the ZZP words? What could they be? Anybody? ZZP, anybody? Yes, fantastic. That person's got the same name as me. Yes, that's right. So Zabr Zer Pesh, right? Zabr Zer Pesh. I'm a Zabr Zer Pesh person. When I learned the Quran when I was young, it was Zabr Zer Pesh. But I will try to teach. I will teach primarily Fatha, which is Zabr, Kasra, which is Zer, and Dhamma, which is Pesh. I will try to include them both, because I know that there's many people, they don't know Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra, and it's difficult. It was difficult for me to learn them as well, right? So Zabr, Zer, Pesh, I'll try to include them, with Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra, so that it's understandable to more people, inshallah. Okay, so that's a little introduction there. Before I start, my teacher told me to label my graphs. I haven't labeled my graph. I'm a bad student. What do you think this graph is showing? What do you think this graph is showing? Effort declining, student attendance. Yep, you bang on, right? Attendance. Yes, attendance, participation. So this is what happens, right? If this class was a beautiful series on the seerah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, a nice, beautiful story, right? Even then, there will be a decline in attendance, right? Because it takes commitment. It takes commitment to do, to be there week in, week out for a full 11 weeks. It takes commitment, right? That wouldn't even happen in a seerah class. Now, this class is different because you're going to get homework. You're going to be scratching your head sometimes, right? You're going to get homework. There's going to be tests. So you're going to have to put some effort in this one. So the decline will happen. But the question I have for you is, are you going to be one of the people who's causing that graph to come down? Are you going to be one of those people who causes that graph to go down, right? What I would tell you is this: if I told you you'd get £5 million tax-free, even taxed, well, let's say tax-free, for attending and keeping up with all the homeworks and all the tests for these 11 weeks, would you do it? Would you do it? Don't say no. Somebody's going to say no. Maybe. Would you do it? Of course, I'd do it, right? 5 million, you don't have to work for the rest of your life, right? Well, what you're going to learn here is more than 5 million. It's priceless. It's priceless. You're going to be able to start understanding Arabic, right? So give it your undivided attention, please. I'll just put this one in for a bit of fun. This would be nice, right? If it stays like this, this would be nice. And what would be even nicer is if it went off and it went and it increased, right? So, yeah. Right. So this is the book that I based the course on. You don't need these books for this class. You don't need these books. But for those who want to do further studying, then these are the books that I studied. It's actually only this one is the main book. This one, this orange one, is the main book. This yellow one is the exercise book, and this one is just some verses of the Quran. So the actual book is just this one here, right? I don't know if it's in print anymore, but it was the book that I studied, and then I've based the course on this. Very nice book. One page contains the theory, the next page contains the verses that contain that theory. And that's how this course is going to be. It's not going to be 5 weeks before you start opening the Quran and looking at verses that contain what we've learned. From week 1, I'm going to show you verses that contain what you've just learned. So every week we're going to see verses that contain what we've just learned. Inshallah. But that's you don't need these books, but if you want to get them to further study, then yeah, check them out on eBay, Amazon, etc. Before we start, the most important thing is our niyyah. If our niyyah is correct, if our intention is correct, then inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept it. If our niyyah is incorrect, we've got some other ulterior motive, we're doing it to diss our friends and show people how amazing we have become, then let's reset our intentions, including myself. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do not acquire knowledge in order to compete with the scholars, nor to argue with the ignorant, nor to gain mastery over the gatherings, since whoever does that, then the fire. Okay, so somebody's asked a question, sister's asked a question, very important question, is it's because it's the 9th of Muharram today, some people are fasting. 9th of Muharram according to some of the people in the UK. Others may, I don't know if they're doing it the day after, but there's people fasting today. So what we will do, we will finish before Maghrib. So we will finish at about 9:15, about 10 past 9 today, inshallah. Okay. And as Maghrib comes down, we'll have to have a break from Maghrib. And as Maghrib comes a bit lower, then we'll continue the class after Maghrib. So for today, we will finish about 5 minutes before Maghrib, inshallah. Right. This is something else which is nice. The Prophet ﷺ said, any group of people that assemble in one of the houses of Allah to study the Quran, tranquility will descend upon them, mercy will engulf them, angels will surround them, and Allah will make mention of them to those in his proximity. Right. So this is obviously talking about when studying the Quran in the masjid. Right. So maybe we could in the future take classes and teach people the Quran in the masjid. Maghrib is at 9:12 today. Okay, so maybe finish at about 9 or 5. Okay, so around there, inshallah. Right. So this is normally a 2-hour class with about 10-minute break in between. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Does anybody have any questions before we start? You have the booklet in front of you, either in electronic format or you've printed it out. Try to concentrate on the screen because the answers are in your booklet. I'll have the screen, I'll say, what do you think this is? And the answers will be in your booklet, but try not to look at the booklet, but use a pen to, write on the booklet when you need to, make notes, etc. Okay, so Maghrib is at 9 p.m. where I am. Okay, yes, I didn't think about that. Okay, we'll just, about 9:05 or something, right? So we're going to have this issue because as Maghrib is going to come down through the course of this 11 weeks, it's going to come inside the class. So we're going to have to do some arrangement. If you don't have a booklet, then at the end of the class, I'll put my number on there. Contact me. I'll give you the information that you need to join the Telegram group where all the information for the class, the booklet, the tests, everything will be, inshallah. Okay, so I'll put my number on, maybe towards the end of the class, and then we can you can contact me. And if you can't do that, then once this recording is on YouTube, in the description box, I will put a link on. You contact that link and you'll contact me. You'll get through to me. Right, okay. So just a bit of Arabic terminology. You don't need to learn this for the test. You don't need to learn this, but I'm just going to give you some Arabic terms. Okay, so in Arabic, we have nouns, which you call ism. You have verb, which is called fi'l, and you have particles that are called harf. You don't need to know this, but if you do want to learn it, then All well and good. So noun, can anybody explain to me what is a noun? What is a noun? What is a noun? It's a name. It's a name of a thing. It's an object. It's something. Okay. So in Arabic, the examples I've got here are kitabun, a book, rajulun, man, qalamun is a pen, filun is elephant, baqaratun is a cow. So these are examples of nouns. Does anybody, so when I'm asking these questions, I'm asking people who have never studied Arabic before. This is your first time you're studying Arabic. The questions are directed to you. I'm going to call you guys the non-Arabs. And if there's anybody who has studied with me before or studied somewhere else Arabic before and you know the answers, I'm going to call you the Arabs. Okay. So the non-Arabs are the brand newbies. So from the non-Arabs, can anybody notice some pattern or something here? What do you notice about these? Okay, good. Right. The endings. The endings are all double dhamma, dopesh. Look, kitabun, rajulun, qalamun, filun, baqaratun. A double ending. That part is the grammar part. Okay, that part, the ending there, kitabun, that is the grammar. Okay, and I'll explain, maybe later, inshallah. Right, so all nouns by default end in double dhamma. They end in dopesh. So I'm going to what we're going to say, it's going to be a masjidun, imamun, kitabun, shamsun, the sun, qamarun, moon. Right, everything by default is ending in double dhamma, every noun. Next one, fi'l is a verb. So what is a verb? People, what is a verb? A doing word, okay? An action, a doing word. So to talk, to play, to laugh, to teach, etc. These are all verbs. And in Arabic, it's called fi'l. Fi'l. These are some examples of verbs. Darasa is to study. Alima is to know. Qatala is to kill. Amala is to act. Wajada is to find. And you'll notice here, the verbs, they're not ending in doubles. In fact, verbs never end in a double. They never have a double ending. If it has a double ending, it is a noun. It is an ism. So these are just examples of some verbs. You don't have to learn these. I'm just showing you so that you get an idea of what's going on. The third type is harf, which means a particle. And them are words like these. Ala, on, min, from, fi, in, man, whom, ila, to. Yeah, so prepositions. There's prepositions in there. Okay, so these are the three types of sort of categories that the words in Arabic fall into. Happy to move on? I'm going to sort of ask that question before I, sometime move to the next section or next slide, just to see if people are happy. It's your opportunity to ask any questions as well. I just need one yes that you're happy, and then I can move on. Are the verbs by default always ending in, okay, good question. Are the verbs by default always ending in a fatha? Yes, for these types of verbs. Three-lettered verbs. Yes, they end in a fatha. these are root words, by the way. These verbs, these that you're looking at here, they are root words. And root words always end, the three-lettered root words always end in a fatha, in a zabar. A particle is just some of these like connecting words. Adjectives, don't worry about them yet. Right? Okay, I got a lot of yeses as well, so we'll continue. Right. So, kitabun. It's got a double ending, and many of us know the meaning of this even without looking at our notes. Okay, kitabun, it's a word in Urdu as well. You know, if you know the Urdu language, you'll automatically know lots of words in Arabic because they're very similar. So it's a noun. It means a book. A book. That thing there. You may have seen these two words in the Quran, hadha and dhalika. Hadha means this. In a sentence, this is. So hadha kitabun means this is a book. This is a book. This is a book. Dhalika kitabun means that is a book. So hadha is for close, something close. Hadha kitabun, this is a book. Dhalika kitabun means that is a book. When you're talking about something far away. Again, this is just a bit of information. We will go into it in the next few slides. Right, so this is just how you'd construct a basic sentence. Hadha kitabun means this is a book. Dhalika kitabun, that is a book. Okay. I'll tell you what you need to learn, inshallah, for the test. I'll tell you what you need to learn for the test for next week. Right, so here we go. You're going to have to know this. So the Arabic language is a language that has genders in there. So meaning nouns have genders in Arabic, like a table is either masculine or feminine. A car is either masculine or feminine. In English, you don't have this. English isn't a gender language. You will call it, you'll say it to everything. It to the table, it to the car, it to the pen, it to the bag. But in Arabic, you will actually say he or she. It's a masculine or a feminine. You get the same in Urdu, you get the same in French, you get the same in many other languages. So in Arabic, nouns fall into either masculine or feminine. Okay. Don't worry about the Arabic if you don't have to learn the Arabic. Right? I'd rather you learn an extra word from the Quran instead. But you can learn it if you want. So how can you tell if a word is masculine or feminine? So the first way, then maybe the most important way to tell that a word is feminine is any word that has this on the end of it. This ta marbuta. Okay, look, can you see? This ta, it changes to this ta. What happens is those ends, those two ends, they get tied up. Marbuta means tied. So it's the ta that looks like this, but it's had its ends tied up and it's become like this, right? That's called a ta marbuta, the tied up ta. When that comes at the end of a noun, like this, when it joins on, it looks like this, okay? When it joins onto the letter before, it looks like this. Whenever you get that attaching to the end of a noun, that word becomes feminine. So ayatun is feminine because of the ta marbuta at the end. Jannatun is feminine because of the ta marbuta at the end. So if the ta was not connecting, sometimes it doesn't connect to the previous letter. When it doesn't connect, it looks like this. When it does connect, it looks like this. right? So you can look at that word now. Many words now you can look at in the Quran. You see a ta marbuta at the end, you know it's feminine. Okay, so somebody's happy that they are Spanish and they are also doing masculine and feminine. So that's another one. So Spanish, French, Urdu, Arabic, and there may be many more. Is this always the case at ta marbuta? As far as I know, I mean, there may be exceptions, but as far as I know, it's mostly the case. In fact, maybe always the case. Where a ta marbuta is the last letter of a noun, and that noun is a feminine word. Italian as well. So, okay, so the ta marbuta, is it silent? Yes, when you stop, it becomes silent. So you say Jannah if you want to stop. Jannah, yeah. But the ta marbuta is still there, right? Think about this. A boy's name, Jamil. What is the feminine version of Jamil? Jamila. The ta marbuta came at the end. Jamila, right? Salih is a boy's name. What's the girl's equivalent? Salihah, right? Exactly. So you've seen that ta marbuta is appearing, and there's many other names like that. I can't think of any right now. There's plenty. Anybody? Hafs is a boy's name, and Hafsa is a girl's name. Yeah, Salih, Salihah, Fahima. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Fahima, right? And there's plenty. So this is one way to tell. You'll notice many girls' names, they end in a, right? It's that Halim, Halima, right? So I'm hoping dots are connecting in your brains already, right? Miftah, I don't know about Miftah. If Mift is a boy's name, I'm not sure, right? But you get the picture, right? So the first way you can tell a word is feminine is when it ends in a ta marbuta. It's a feminine word. Imran, Imrana, is it? Maybe. Okay. The second way, there's more than this, by the way. There's other categories, but the main one is the ta marbuta. That's what I learned in the start. I only learned ta marbuta at the start. But also another way to tell that a word is feminine is if the actual word itself is a female. It's referring to a female. So mother, ummun means mother. So it's not ending in ta marbuta, but it's a woman. So it's a feminine word also. Bintun is daughter. It doesn't end in a ta marbuta. It ends in a normal ta. But because a daughter is a woman, then that word is female also. Okay, so I'm only going to teach you two categories of feminine words in Arabic. One is a word that ends in ta marbuta, is feminine, and other types of words that is referring to a woman itself, grandmother, auntie, daughter, niece. You know, they're talking about women themselves, so it doesn't have to have a ta marbuta in that case. It is a feminine word because it's talking about a woman. It is a woman. Okay, is that understood? Because that's going to be in the test. Body parts. You're an Arab, right? We're not gonna. This is the simplified. So I've taught this course. I've never taught this course ever before. The one that I taught with similar slides was slightly complicated. Starts from basic and it goes to intermediate, right? In that I gave two more categories, but this one is a simpler course. This is like super simple. I never taught this before, so I'm excited about it because this is what people need in the start, right? So I'm just going to give you two. There are others, right? And you're going to be tested with this, okay? So any word that ends in ta marbuta is feminine. Any word that is talking to it's a woman itself is feminine. Okay. What about masculine? Masculine is most other things. The ones that don't end in ta marbuta, the ones that are not women themselves, right? Most of the other words are all masculine. Masculine words are a lot more. Feminine are few in comparison. Okay, so this community test, right? You get multiple choice test, electronic, and you get the marks as soon as you've done it. If you put your email in there, then it will email you the results as well. All right? Are we happy with that? So for now, if a word doesn't end in ta marbuta and it's not a woman itself, we're going to assume it's masculine. And most of the time it will be masculine. Okay? So we need to know this for the next stage. Are we happy with this so far? Yes. Good. Good, right? Happy? Good. I hope you're going to be happy all the way through the course. I've taken the hard things out from the previous class, right? It's just easy chunks, right? Easier. Right. Move on to the next slide then. Right. So the good thing is we don't have to really we don't need to be able to determine if a word is masculine or feminine, because in the Quran, they're already written, right? But we need to be able to appreciate what's going on. So this is a table containing 4 words that you need to be able to learn. It's going to come in your test. You need to know them backwards. You need to know them at the back of your hand, right? Why? This is how many times they come in the Quran, roughly. Hadha comes in about 262 times in the Quran. Dhalika, 479 times, right? These numbers that I give in red, besides the tables or in the tables, that's the amount of times that word occurs in the Quran, roughly. Hadihi, 47, tilka, 43. So let's look. We've got a word, kitabun. We've got the word kitabun. Kitabun doesn't end in ta marbuta, and it's not a woman. So it's masculine. So you're going to use hadha for this is. You're not going to say hadihi. Hadihi is used for feminine words, right? So kitabun, if you see kitabun, you're going to see hadha before it, not hadihi, right, in Arabic. Because hadha means this is for a masculine word. This is the masculine word. Hadihi is feminine because shajaratun, a tree, it's feminine because of the ta marbuta. So this is a feminine word. So you're going to use hadihi. It won't make sense if you say hadha shajaratun, because hadha is for masculine words, and then you're talking about a feminine word. So this is why we need to appreciate masculine and feminine, right? It's already written in the Quran, but now at least you will know why hadihi sometimes, why hadha other times. Okay, so hadha kitabun means this is a book. Dhalika kitabun is that is a book. You wouldn't say tilka kitabun, because kitabun is a masculine word. So you would say that is using the masculine way. Dhalika is for masculine words. Tilka is for feminine words. So we have hadha kitabun, this is a book, masculine, masculine. And then we have dhalika kitabun, that is a book, masculine, masculine. On this side, we have hadihi shajaratun, this is a tree. Over here we have tilka shajaratun, that is a tree. So you have to use the feminine way of saying it when you're talking about a feminine noun. And same with masculine. Did that make sense? Right. The good thing is we don't have to construct the sentence. The sentence is already written in the Quran. We just have to be able to understand hadha means this is, and hadihi means this is. But the reason why they're different is because one is talking about something feminine, the other one is talking about something masculine. So the take-home message for this slide is you need to learn that hadha and hadihi mean this is for masculine and feminine, and that dhalika and tilka means that is for masculine and feminine. And if you do that, look how many words, look how many times it comes in the Quran. Over 250 here, around 480 here. So all over the place, all over the place. And you'll notice the masculine is more than the feminine, maybe because the feminine words, the feminine nouns are much less than the masculine nouns. And this is in test, so you're going to have to be able to translate hadha and hadihi, dhalika and tilka. Right? So you need to, after the lesson, give it about a day rest, and then you need to get into your books and start learning, right? Are we happy? Happy so far? Good. Right. The happiest. The happiest. Okay. Right. So this is just a bit of, just again, هذا كتاب, this is a book. You're nervous, don't be nervous. If you get stuck, just always ask in the Telegram group, ask in the discussion group if you're part of that, or yeah, or even ask here. Okay, so هذا كتاب, this is a book. ذلك كتاب, that is a book. So I put the book a bit far away, so it looks like, okay, it's the same book, but it's further away. That's why you got the ذلك كتاب. And just reiterating again, for the feminine example, هذه شجرة. هذه means this is. شجرة is a tree. شجرة is feminine because it's got a ta marbuta at the end, right? So هذه, that's why it's هذه, because شجرة is a feminine word, right? Tilka is the feminine way to say that is. And it's feminine because, again, shajaratun is a feminine word. So tilka shajaratun, that is a tree. A tree is a bit further away. So again, this is, you know, obviously revision will be, you have to go away and then start learning these words, hadha, hadihi, dhalika, and tilka. So the aim of the rest of the class is just to give you some experience, right? So here we have now, hadha baytun. So why is it hadha? Why is hadha written here? Why does it say hadha? Why not hadihi? Because it's masculine. Baytun is masculine. Why is baytun masculine? Because it doesn't end in ta marbuta. Not the dhamma, not dhamma. That doesn't change. This doesn't make it, this dhamma here, dopesh, that doesn't make it masculine or feminine, right? What makes it masculine or feminine is the ta marbuta being there. So this one has no ta marbuta. The ta on this one is open. That's fine. So it's masculine. And baytun isn't a woman, right? In itself, it's not a girl, it's not a daughter, it's not an auntie. So it's masculine. So it would be hadha baytun. Now, if it's already written, you just need to be able to appreciate and know hadha means this is, baytun is a house, but I know why it's hadha, not hadihi. How do you know when things are masculine and feminine? So if it's masculine, if it's feminine, it will end in a ta marbuta, right? The previous few slides. If it was feminine, it would end in ta marbuta. But because this one doesn't end in ta marbuta, it's masculine. Yeah. So this is a house. Next one. Hadha dhikrun. Hadha dhikrun. And many of us even know what dhikr means. Remembrance. We do dhikr of Allah, right? It's dhikrun, right? So 1 second. Hadha dhikrun. This is a reminder. Over here it's meaning reminder. And this is actually in the Quran. This is part of the Quran. Hadha dhikrun occurs in the Quran. Surah 38, verse 49. Hadha dhikrun. So it's hadha because dhikrun doesn't have a ta marbuta. and it's not a feminine word. Yeah, so a regular ta doesn't make feminine. It's only, so the ta that looks like this doesn't make feminine. The ta that has been tied up into a circle, that one is the ta of feminine. Okay, so I'll just go on, I think. Yeah, right. هذا ذكر, Quran. Lesson 1, been less than an hour. You're already seeing something in the Quran that you can half understand. 2 words, هذا. If you learn هذا, you know this is. Okay, ذكر, you would have to know it means a reminder. Next one. These are all the pictures that I could easily find, right? So I hope you understand from that. You're being punished, right? So again, Quran, هذا means this is. عذاب is a punishment. عذاب, right? عذاب is punishment. So adab is manners, right? Someone's asking, is an adab manners? That's adab, right? But this is عذاب, ayn, dhal, an alif, and a ba. عذاب, right? So هذا عذاب, we can see عذاب, we can deduce from this, it's in the Quran. We can tell from this that عذاب is masculine. Why is it masculine? 2 ways to tell. From our knowledge, it's not got ending in tam or buta, so it's a masculine, right? But the proper confirmed way to tell is look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, what word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used here. هذا. هذا only comes in front of masculine words. So we automatically know adhabun is masculine, right? هذا, this is, adhabun, a punishment. It's in the Quran, 44:11. Yeah, you can also look at that and say no buta at the end, and it's not a woman itself, so it's masculine, right? But the confirmed way to tell, because there's a few other examples of feminine, the confirmed way to tell is hada. It's telling you there, right? So again, verse 36, sorry, Surah 36, verse 63. Hadihi jahannamu. Right, tell me what's going on here. Hadihi jahannamu. From hadihi, you can tell what? From hadihi, you can tell what about this word? It's feminine, right? Okay, it's got one dhamma on as well, yeah? It's got one dhamma as well, right? But you can tell from this word, from hadihi, that jahannam is feminine. But wait a minute, it doesn't end in ta marbuta. It's not a woman by itself. So this happens to be one of those other categories that I've not mentioned yet, right? So there's a small number of words that fit into other categories, small number of words, right? And this is one of them, right? But not to worry, as long as you know what hadihi means, and you know what jahannam means, you can translate this is hell. It's not going to be that is, because hadihi means this is. And you'll automatically know jahannam is a feminine word. It's one of those feminine words that we haven't covered yet. Why? Because hadihi is telling you. Because this hadihi is feminine. So jahannam has to be a feminine word. Right? It's a single dhamma on indicator. The single dhamma at the end doesn't indicate femininity. Right? That's something else. Right? The ending, whether it's double or single, doesn't indicate whether it's male or female. That's something else going on. Right? Good? Oof, it's a long comment here. Very long. Okay, it's a bit too long, that one, right? So, right. So sometimes you're going to see words that are feminine, but we've not covered them. That's all. Don't worry about it, okay? We'll cover that in a future course. The other course that I do teaches more categories of feminine, right? The main thing you need to know is hadihi means this is, and jahannam means jahannam. That's it. Yeah? Yes, she says, yeah, but I'm not going to mention that here. So هذه, this is Jahannam, Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the Jahannam. Next one. هذه ناقة. So that was a bit of a tricky one, okay? But yes, you're sometimes going to find words that are, you discover they're feminine, but they're not from the two categories that we've talked about. Don't worry about it. There's other categories, right? So هذه ناقة in the Quran. هذه, this is. ناقة is a she camel. So you can see هذه is, this is, and it's talking about something feminine. How can you tell this word is feminine? How do you know this word is feminine? The ta marbuta, right? The ta marbuta, when it joins into this, it takes this shape, right? It's no longer that circle anymore. It's no longer the circle. It actually becomes this shape because it's attaching to the previous letter. It still is the ta marbuta, right? So this word has got ta marbuta, so you can straight away tell it's feminine. So it wouldn't say hadha naqatun. It would say hadhihi naqatun. Yes? Happy with that? So now these are actual in the Quran. These are actually in the Quran. Next. Is the Quran reference wrong? I hope it's not, but it might be. It might be. This is the first time I'm teaching this course, so it's not refined. The slides are not refined. I'll have plenty of mistakes. So if you do spot a mistake, yeah, please just let me know. I'll check this one, inshallah. 3663, maybe a wrong reference. All right, okay. Jazakallah khair. A camel is jamalun as well, but naqatun is a she camel, right? Another in the Quran, right? Tilka ummatun. Now we've gone away from hadha, hadihi. Now we're on tilka. Tilka is that. By itself, that is. In the context of this sentence, that was, okay? If you look at the context of the sentence, then it's gone to that was. Okay, but that is tilka, the feminine way of saying it or the masculine way? It's feminine. Why? Because this word is feminine. Ummatun is feminine. Why is this word feminine? What's making it feminine? What's making this word feminine? The ta at the end. The ta marbuta at the end, okay? So this is a feminine word. So you wouldn't say dhalika, because dhalika is for masculine words. It's going to be tilka. The good thing is we're not constructing sentences. All we're doing is trying to translate what is written. So it's already written in the Quran. We don't have to think of how to address it. It's already written. Tilka. We just need to know what tilka means. Tilka means that is, and ummatun is a nation. Okay? We can have, we've got about 30-40 minutes left for Maghrib. We have come to nearly the end of the class for today. What follows next is some verses of the Quran that contain the information that we have learned, right? Some more. So what we can do, we can have maybe a 5-minute break and go away, have a bit of, I don't know, have a glass of water, have some drink, have something. And then we can come back. If we stop now, 8:32, we'll come back at, should we give it, what do you want, 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Should we come back at 5? 5? 5? First lesson, everybody's saying 5. Okay, then 5 minutes, okay, so 37. Come back at 37, right? Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. We've just got a bit of the class left today. We will continue, inshallah. Right. So these are actual parts of verses. We learn the theory, and then at the end of the lesson, we see that theory being applied in verses of the Quran. So here, look, هذا يوم. After you've done your revision, inshallah, you will know what هذا means. هذا means this is. And yom is day, like yomul jumu'ah, yomul qiyamah, yeah? Yomul din, right? Yom. Yom is day. So hadha yomun, this is a day. It's hadha masculine because yomun is a masculine word. That's fine. If you have to leave to prepare for the fast, no problem. The recording will be there. I will link it on the Telegram group. Right, next one. Look, dhalika yomun. Dhalika yomun. When we learn what dhalika means from the tables, dhalika means that is. And yomun is a day. So that is a day. It's not going to say tilka because tilka is for feminine word. Dhalika yomun. Yomun is a masculine word. So dhalika yomun. Dhalika yomun. That is a day. Okay. Hadha dhikrun. We've done this one. This is a reminder. For now, okay, yomun dhikrun, we've not done that yet, but I want you to be able to translate hadha, right? That's what's going to be in the test. You have to be able to translate hadha, hadihi, dhalika, and tilka. Also, you need to be able to know how a word is feminine, how a word is masculine, from what we've learned in this class. Dhalikal kitabu. Dhalikal kitabu. Dhalika means, what does dhalika mean? I know it's written there, but I just want to see people typing it. Dhalika means, because the more you write, the more you mention, the more you type even, you start sitting in the head. That good, right? Al-Kitabu is the book. So that is the book. We've not done the yet, but we have done dhalika. So dhalika al-Kitabu, that is the book. Now, if you look in your Quran translation, it's going to say, this is the book. But really, dhalika means that is the book. That's what I'm saying. If you just look at the translation, you're going to, and you don't understand Arabic, you're going to miss things out. Dhalika. Next one. Hadihi jahannam. We've done this one as well. Hadihi, what's hadihi mean? Hadihi, this is. Jahannam is Jahannam. Hadihi jahannamu, this is Jahannam. What is the sign after the word? Hadihi, okay, someone's asking, what is this here? So this is the Uthmani script, and so that's a ya. It's basically saying you're going to say hadihi, you're going to make it 2 counts. It's not going to be hadihi, it's going to be hadihi. Yeah. I've also, what I've done is I've got it in the Indo-Pak font. This is one that I'm used to, right? This is one I was brought up reading, and I know many people like to use this one. So these verses, I've just repeated them. They're in your book. If you prefer the second font, then just follow the second font, this one. Right? Hadihi. This one, this, you call it Kurizeh, right? That's the one that indicates 2 counts in the Indo-Pak font. Hadihi jahannamu. Somebody's asking, why is it not double ending? Good question, because remember what I said? I said the default of a noun is it ends in a double. So why is this ending in a singular? Why is this ending in a singular? So there's some grammar going on. There's some grammar rules that you need to know to be able to, you know, then you'd know what's going on. So it's just some grammars going on that we're not covering yet. Yeah. Yep. And also dhikru. Good. Dhikru. Why is it not dhikrun? because there's some grammar going on. There's something happening in that sentence that's causing that to be dhikru and not dhikrun. So default will be dhikrun, but something in the sentence may cause it to change. And that's the grammar that we're not going to cover too much of in this course. Because if it said dhikrun or dhikru, if you understand that dhikru or dhikrun means reminder, you'll be able to translate. Many times the grammar ending doesn't change the meaning, right? It doesn't change the meaning. Right? Oops. Okay, next page. هذه النار. هذه النار. What's هذه mean? Okay, somebody's asking, why is Jahannam feminine? Because it's not ending in ta marbuta and it's not a woman. It's one of those other categories that we're not talked about yet. Yeah, that's why. In the second course, in the next level, we'll do that category. But in this one, we're not doing that category. Okay, هذه, this is. An-naru is a new word, which means the fire. هذه النار, this is the fire. Keyword for you guys to know at the moment is these ones, these first ones, okay? Again, هذه sabili. We're not done sabili yet, but هذه, we should start getting into our minds now. هذه means this is. And yes, it's feminine. Yeah, some Arab there. Yeah, that's right. Right, so هذه means this is sabili, my way. Next one. Tilka ummatun. Tilka, what's tilka mean? Tilka. It's the same meaning as dhalika, but one is for feminine, one is for a masculine. So what's tilka mean? Tilka. Have a look, go back to your booklet, go back to that table and have a look. Yeah. Tilka, that is. Right? It's talking about something further away. Like that's what it's implying. Literally that word, tilka. So tilka ummatun. Ummatun is a nation, and it is tilka because ummatun is a feminine word that we know, right? Next one, wa tilka ni'matun. Ni'ma. We have so much, we have a great ni'ma, right? Favor. So wa tilka. This wow, write it down in your books. Wow means and. Right? Wow, coming like this, the start of a noun, it means and. Yeah, I mean, there's a few words like ni'ma, I'm not talking about in this particular verse because over here I'm just going to go with the translation, but ni'ma, blessing, yeah. There's a few words that can explain, in English that can explain the Arabic words, but I'm just going to strictly go with what the translation says. Yeah, but outside of this verse, ni'ma, yeah, blessing, you translate it as blessing. Why is it in brackets, or why is it was in brackets? Because it's maybe the implied meaning. There's maybe not a particular word for was, but it's talking about something in the past. The sentence is talking about something in the past. That's why وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ, that was a nation, right? So, and that was a nation. So it's something in the sentence that's telling you it's past. Don't worry about that either yet. تِلْكَ الْجَنَّةُ. Tilkal jannatu. Tilka means, what's tilka mean? That is. And Jannah is paradise. So somebody asked again that, someone's asked another person that, why is it was? Why is it past tense? What's making it past tense? So I'll say the verse, the context of the verse is telling you it's past tense. It's just that we've not mentioned the context of the verse here. So don't worry about the was for now, right? But it's the context of the verse. or something else in the verse. When you read the verse, then you will understand, right? So that is the paradise. It's not going to be this is, because this is would be hadihi, right? But it's tilka. So tilka means that is the paradise. And that's the other font. If you like this font, then use this font. Right? Coming to the very end now. At the end of each lesson, what we will do is you ain't going to be able to understand the Quran if you don't start learning some words. Okay, so we've got to learn some words of the Quran. We have to learn some vocabulary. You might understand anta, you might understand dhalika, tilka, hadha, hadihi. But if we don't know words, if we don't have any vocabulary, we're not going to be able to translate the Quran. So we have to learn sets of words. Every week we're going to get this amount of words to learn, right? Every week we're going to get this set of words to learn. There will be an optional test for people who want to do the vocabulary as well. But the mandatory test will be the one that I'll let you know, okay? I'll explain it in the group, inshallah. Right? So these words are words that I want you to learn for before next week, or before next week. The red is the amount of times, roughly, that they occur in the Quran. So look, Rabbun, about 1,000 times in the Quran. So you need to know what Rabbun means. And what we try to do is try to extract the most frequently occurring words that come in the Quran. Rather than teach you a word that occurs once or twice, I want to teach you a word that occurs hundreds of times, so that you will be able to, by learning one word, you've covered so many different instances in the Quran. And that's how we get our 40% vocabulary. Right? So al-akhirah, so I want you to learn these words. Al-akhirah, al-akhiratu means the hereafter. Many people will already know some of these. I think try to start them off with the easy words. Al-akhirah, brother, the akhirah is like this. The akhirah is like this. Yeah? Akhiratu is the hereafter, 112 times. Sama'un, samawatun. How many times have we seen that in the Quran? Samawati wal ard. Right? Samawat is heaven. This is a singular, this is the plural. Okay, here is a singular, here is a plural. Just learn one or learn them both. Sama is heaven, samawatun is heavens. And when we say samawatun, we're not talking about Jannah. We're talking about the sky. We're talking about that heaven, right? You look up at the sky and say, look at the heavens. It's that heaven we're talking about. We're not talking about Jannah, okay? Samawatun isn't Jannah. Samawatun is skies, heaven, that sort of heaven, okay? Al-ardu is what you're standing on now, what you're sitting on now, yeah? What we're on now, the earth, right? 311 times. Al-haqqu, 187 times, the truth. Okay, these are words we're just going to have to learn. And they occur so many times, as you can see. Khayrun is better. We say, Jazakallah, may Allah reward you. Khayr, khayran, which means better. Yeah, good. Right? So khayr here, khayrun, better. Right? Khayr. And we can also translate khayr as good. Ad-deenu. Ad-deen is religion. Our deen is al-Islam. Right? So religion, the true faith, it could also mean judgment. 50 times. Rabbun, Rabbul Malaikat, Rabbana Atina, right? Rabbun is Lord, sustainer, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sabilun is path. When you go to the poor countries, or you go to the countries and the people begging and they're saying, Fi sabilillah, in the way of Allah, in the path of Allah. When people come to the masjid to collect money, they say, Fi sabilillah, in the way of Allah. Al-jihad fi sabilillah, jihad in the way of Allah. See, sabilillah, it's a word that we hear and we maybe know the meaning to, but I'm trying to connect it. Right? Yes, okay, we only have another 5 minutes. If you have to go, please go. Adhabun is punishment. Adhabun is punishment. 322. Azim is great. It sounds like it as well. Azim, Azim, great, magnificent, awesome. That's the thing you get with Arabic. Sometimes the word, it sounds like its meaning. Yeah. A soft word may have a soft meaning, and a hard sounding word actually has a hard meaning, right? Azim to me seems strong, right? Great. Narun, 145 times fire. And Nurun is light. Nurun is light. So you need to learn these words. Let's just see what you need to learn. Okay, this is the last slide. So your homework, inshallah, in your booklets, you've got 2 empty pages. After this slide, you have 2 empty pages. That's for your homework. Your homework lives in your booklet. You don't have to put separate pages in there. The homework lives in your booklet. Write 2 ways you can tell a word is feminine. Include an example for each, right? So that's a bit of work for you to do. 2 ways you can tell a word is feminine. We've done that. Listen to the recording. Get stuck, ask the question, no problem. Translate the following. تلك الجنة هذا عذاب هذه سبيل. It basically requires you to go open your booklet, look at the slides, and get your answers. You know, it's designed to help you learn, right? For each noun in the Arabic terminology slide, write the Arabic way of saying either this is or that is. So when you go to that slide, the one that's called terminology, Arabic terminology, and it's got filun and baqaratun, all you got to do is write those words and just put a dhalika or a tilka, whichever one is applicable, in front of them. And just try your best. The homework doesn't get handed in. The homework you do for yourself. We will go over the answers in the next lesson. We'll go over the answers to the test in the next lesson, and then we will start the next lesson. Yeah, next week, inshallah. And the last thing, learn all the words in the vocabulary list. So if we want to be able to have covered 40% of the words of the Quran, we need to learn vocabulary. So every week you're going to get some vocabulary to learn. Test yourself, test your family if you're doing it with your family. And the way I would advise you to do it is this. Don't on Wednesday evening sit down and learn it ready for Thursday. It's gonna, if it goes in your head quickly like that, it's gonna go out quickly as well. What you do is, okay, tonight obviously give it a break. Tomorrow night, pick up the vocabulary, learn a few, right? Learn hadha, hadihi, right? Then on Saturday night or Saturday, learn a few more. By Sunday, you should have learned everything you need to learn, but it needs to cook. It needs to cook in your head now, yeah? To make it stronger. So what do? On Monday, you go over it again and fill in the gaps. On Tuesday, you should be knowing it, right? By Wednesday, inshallah, it's sat in your head, right? And the test is due to be done before the next lesson. So you have until like, you get the test maybe something like Tuesday. You have all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, the morning of Thursday to do the test, right? So it gives you ample time to revise. And that's how it will be. So it will be. Right, that's all. We're done. 8:56. It was supposed to go to 9:30, but it's a condensed lesson, so some of the lessons are going to be a bit small. Right. I hope you understood هذا هذه ذلك تلك. I hope you understood how you can tell a word is feminine, the 2 ways. Right. Learn them, learn the words in the vocabulary. And then, you know, when you have time, open the Quran and see if we can find the hadha and the hadihi and look what comes after it, and then see if you can figure it out. Yeah. Get stuck, give us a shout. Post a question on Telegram, discussion, or stick it in one of the comments, right? Jazakumullah. Jazakumullah khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.